Hey guys, so again, I had a different video planned for today, but there was just stuff floating around online that made me very frustrated, and I'd been planning to do this video anyway. I just wasn't going to do it during Mental Health Awareness Month, but we're gonna talk about it. Now, this isn't as structured as I probably want it to be, but I felt like very passionate about it today that I really just wanted to have a conversation with you guys. I do have some screenshots and stuff, photos to go through with you to express my frustration with this topic. So obviously, based on the title, we're gonna be talking about the romanticization, right? Of serial killers. Now, I do want to come forward and apologize for my last video that I did about serial killers, not so much for the video content, but for the title. I did get some backlash, and you guys are totally right. It was in very poor taste to call it that, and if you have a better title suggestion, I will totally change the title. I think the thumbnail is still kind of permanent because I deleted the original one. Anyway, I could rename it though, and I'd love your input on that. But if you watched the actual content of the video, I talk about it and how we shouldn't romanticize serial killers and stuff. So hopefully the content drove home to you guys, and I just talked a little bit about a few serial killers. I needed to get that across first because what we're going to be talking about today is kind of about that. Now, honestly, I didn't think my title was that extreme. I have come across some stuff online about a certain Tumblr community that is very obsessed with the serial killer world. Not just serial killers, also mass murderers. So it kind of started when I started to think about this video back when I saw a Facebook ad for a box, and after further researching into it, it's not actually that bad. This is what I saw on Facebook for the ad. It's called Hunt a Killer, but the way they advertised it I thought was a little bit strange. It says, what if you got a package from a serial killer each month? Now, disclaimer, I'm very fascinated by serial killers and, you know, the psychology behind it. And I'll get to some later points later on about sympathizing and, you know, just coming from a psychological standpoint, knowing that they're broken people is what makes it interesting to me, and wondering what is going on inside their head. But I don't think that this, you know, box is necessarily in good taste, because for me, what you have to think about is coming from the victim's standpoint. If you were the parents of a victim of one of these killers, or related, or what friend, whatever, if you knew a victim and you saw this on Facebook, I doubt their reaction would be, that's awesome, I'm gonna get a box from Ted Bundy, that sounds so cool. So that's kind of where my thought process is with stuff like this, because although it's interesting and like it's not romanticizing it completely, it is kind of glorifying it a little bit and treating it like, oh, these people are so awesome, and they're not directly saying that, but maybe I'm just reading into it too much for this particular example. But it did put a bad taste in my mouth for this. Okay. The next thing I saw that solidified my thought process that I'm definitely going to be doing this video was this Instagram post. It was, I think, in my Explore page on Instagram. This one you really can't read in another way other than, what the hell is this? Like, why would anyone wear this? Why would you want to free Charlie Manson? Okay, so the shirt thing kind of leads into something that you guys sent to, or one of you sent to me on Twitter. Now, these are pretty bad. So the first one here, we have the Night Stalker. I believe I talked about him in my last video. We have John Wayne Gacy here, and then we have Jeffrey Dahmer. So I want to ask, why would anyone want to wear their faces on your chest? Like, that to me is saying that you're proud to support them. Like, I don't understand the motive going into it. If you guys can better explain it to me, please let me know in the comments of why you would. But to me, if I saw someone wearing this shirt, I would see them as someone who's in support of that person. Granted, there is a fascination with serial killers. I have something here that has serial killers on it. As you guys know, I went to LA a couple weeks ago. I went to the Museum of Death, and although it wasn't what I expected, it was very fascinating. A lot of the rooms had to do with serial killers. Charles Manson had his own little section. The first room was basically John Wayne Gacy, and there was like some Richard Ramirez stuff. It was very interesting. As a souvenir, I picked up a postcard. They were $1 at the museum. I felt a little weird getting like a postcard with just one face on it of like Jeffrey Dahmer, who is the serial killer that is most interesting to me. So I don't know if I'm being a hypocrite here. It's like getting this as a souvenir. I felt a little weird about it, honestly, but most of their merchandise was serial killer stuff, which I thought was really interesting, and some of it I was not okay with. Like, just personally, I would not wear it. And by the way, I'm really, really hot because there's no AC going on right now. So this is the only thing I really felt comfortable with getting, because just an innocent postcard. I'm not showing my support for them or anything. It was for the museum experience. So you tell me if you feel like that's a little bit hypocritical or a stretch or what, but I feel like wearing a shirt that is just their face is a little bit more extreme and wrong. All right, now we're going to get into the Tumblr community. Now, I don't want to offend anybody who, you know, is on Tumblr that posts these things. It's just my personal opinion that what you're doing is perpetuating a huge image that is not okay. It's just my opinion, okay? I'm not trying to come at you or be super aggressive about it, but I am gonna call a little bit of you guys out with some of the things that you say on Tumblr about serial killers and mass murderers, because I just I don't understand it. I feel like there's a whole world of people who are just so obsessed, and they literally romanticize serial killers and mass murderers by being in love with them. And that's where I have to draw the line. Now, yes, I'm interested in them. I research them. I'll tell you guys about them. I'll tell, you know, their story. And especially from a psychological standpoint, of course they're fascinating to us. But to say that you're sad when one of them dies, or to say that you are in love with them, or how cute they are, or, you know, sexually attracted to them, that's a little scary. Someone posted this image here when, what's his face? Robert Hansen, known as the Butcher Baker, died. When Dylan Klebold, which if you don't know who that is, he's one of the mass murderers of Columbine, the Columbine shooting, would have been his 33rd birthday. Someone posted, "Happy birthday, Dylan. We love you more and more each day." Why do you love him? I really want to know. Like, I don't understand why you'd wish a mass murderer happy birthday when he ruined so many people's lives and he took so many people's lives. What makes you think it's okay to say happy birthday, we love you more and more each day? I really don't understand that mindset. This one says, "Can you imagine how cute Dylan would have been on a date? Like, seriously, I bet he would have tried really hard and got flowers and everything, the cutie." Obviously, it's a very sad situation. He had some things going on, and I can be very sympathetic to that he really needed help. That's what a lot of this comes down to, is that the killers need help and they don't get that help. And of course, it's so tragic, not only for the people who died, but for them themselves and their ruined lives as well. But to say, imagine how cute he would be on a date, that 100% is romanticizing it, like quite literally romanticizing a killer. This one's less bad. Like, I get it. Like, this one I can kind of understand. It says, "Dylan Klebold, September 11, 1981 to April 20, 1999. RIP, if you were still alive now, you'd have a career, probably mid-career. Probably be married, maybe even have kids. Columbine and almost everyone in it would be behind you, and you'd be living a full life. You'd be living a full life, I'm sure." That one's still disturbing to me, but like a little less romanticizing it. It's just like, if only you had gotten the help that you needed, and you probably would have been able to live a regular life and not, well, they said get over the killings and like move on from them, put it behind you. No, I'd say the idea would be that he got help before he killed people, hopefully. TJ Lane seems to be very, very popular on Tumblr, and I'm not sure why. This girl here posted this image. I'm not going to post her username or anything. And it says, "Reppin' my favorite school shooter, OMG." It honestly, I feel a mix of emotions when something like this is posted. Like, I feel anger, like, how dare you romanticize and glamorize someone killing other people and like taking innocent lives and ruining families, and you're just celebrating him like for no reason. He did nothing good. Like, not one thing is positive about that situation, and you're proud to rep your favorite school shooter. First of all, the word favorite is thrown around a lot in the serial killer community, and I think it's not necessarily right to say favorite if you want to say most interested in, fascinated by, but with saying favorite, I feel like you're disrespectful to the victims and their families. I feel like you still, no matter how interested you are in serial killers, you have to be respectful to those that are alive that are very much impacted by that person. So there obviously is backlash that happens on the community, and they get very defensive with this quote saying, "No one's happy, okay? Calm down." Literally no one in the entire enterprise of true crime, whether they're part of the serial killer or mass school shooter subsets, has ever gotten more subversive, sarcastic hate than TJ Lane. We're making fun of the little shit prick. Even the girls who think he's so fine know he's a complete piece of shit and nothing's gonna change that. Not even his fine, soft, newborn baby deer features. Not once has any Lane enthusiast ever said that he's great or right or justified or anything of that nature. I don't know about that. I think posting a picture saying he's your favorite school shooter wearing a shirt that says killer, I mean, that to me seems like you're pretty okay with what he did. Another person states, "People who actually think we support murderers and condone their actions are fucking idiots. If you bother to talk to most of us, we don't condone anything bad they ever did. And most of us are intelligent, forgiving, compassionate people who learned a lot about humanity and life through the murderers we're interested in. Don't talk shit about us before you get to know us. Thanks." But then there's posts like this that say, "Listening to Lee Harvey's radio interview as I fall asleep makes me feel closer to him, like we're having a late night conversation in his bed. I miss him, but somehow it helps." How do you say that you don't condone or support anything that they do and you're only doing your research and showing this because you have compassion for them when you say you miss him and you feel close to him? Why would you want to feel close to a serial killer? Why would you miss a serial killer when they literally killed people, like innocent people? Back to TJ Lane. Here's a post that it says, regardless of what he's done, he's really attractive, LOL. Oh, that's gonna help, okay. But if we look at the hashtag, this saves it all. It says, "It's too bad he decided to make a shit choice." So I kind of understand where they're coming from when they're like, you know, he would have been a really great person or like had a good life. He's attractive. He probably would have gotten married. Too bad he screwed up his life by making this choice. I get that, you know, perspective. Someone wrote that it must trigger some sort of savior complex where they fantasize that if they were able to save him with their love, friendship, and make him see the light. I get that, you know, standpoint as well. Like, maybe I could have fixed him, like, especially as someone who studies psychology and, you know, that's my passion. I always see it as from the side of, if he had help, he probably could have avoided this whole situation and not actually killed anybody. That's a fair statement to say, but they did what they did, and they have to either live with the consequences or they are dead. So that's not the case that they got help and, you know, did all this. Of course, woulda, shoulda, coulda been, all these, you know, better scenarios. Of course that any person could say that they wish that they had gotten help before they killed people. But then to still support them and say that they're misunderstood and that you're misunderstood because you support them is wrong in my eyes. It has gotten so out of hand, I feel like, that we need to stop. We need to just slow it down and remember what these people have done. I get the fascination, I really do. I'm fascinated. I used to want to become a criminal psychologist and help people in prisons. Like, I understand. But if you're going to romanticize or glamorize anybody in this situation, do it for the victims' families and stuff and be like, you're so strong for surviving this and, you know, going through this situation. Why are we paying more attention to the killers who took those lives than the people who they're survived by? That's my 2 cents on the subject matter. It definitely gets me heated when I read it. That's why I had to do a video about it today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it down below if you feel like it's not that serious, or I don't know. I don't know how you can see it as not that serious when they literally are wearing their faces on t-shirts. Like, anyway, leave your commentary down below. I'd love to hear from you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you got a little heated as I did, and yep, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.